just as a 29-year-old Lancashire boxer was winning the European bantamweight title for Britain. Peter Cain, in black socks, battering Parisian Theo Medina to a standstill at Manchester, gave British boxing a welcome boost. A split eye cut in the fourth round didn't worry Cain. With arms crossed and elbows protecting his face, he never wasted a punch. Both boxers were equally matched, and at times the fight turned into a slugging match. Yet it was a personal triumph for Cain. Formerly world flyweight champion, the blacksmith from Lancashire made his comeback in fine style. It took Cain 15 grueling rounds to win the European title on points. 3 years ago, he was considered finished as a boxer. During his RAF service, he was blinded in one eye. Then he lost a finger in an accident. His victory in a great fight is a tonic to British boxing. And at Wigan, at another international sports battle, Wales beat England by 10 points to 8 in the season's first Rugby League International. A 30,000 crowd watched a dark-shirted Welsh 13 prove themselves the quicker and better team. Odom's Thomas, number 12, opened the score for Wales with a try. Edward Ward kicked the goal. England's forwards couldn't make much headway against the first-time tackling Welsh. Forward, the Welshmen were much faster on the ball and better together. Thomas's try increased their lead. A heavy rainstorm seemed to upset the Welsh team. In the second half, their lack of weight told. England came back with a good try scored by Wigan's Bill Ratcliffe. England's pack almost won the game, taking the play into its own hands. Wigan's White scored a second try, but Rylance missed the goal. In the final stages, the ground was turned into a mud bath. Holding out well, Wales saved the day and brought off the sport surprise of the week. To watching fans, it was a reversal of last year's form. Sportsmen were not alone in making the week's news. At Stirling, the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders are on parade. Princess Elizabeth, breaking her Scottish holiday at Balmoral, inspects 4 companies of the regiment, of which she is Colonel-in-Chief. Occasion for the parade is the granting of the freedom of Stirling to the Princess and the regiment. From Provost MacMichael, the Princess receives the silver casket containing the Burgess's ticket. From the Highland Regiment, the traditional army greeting.
Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray!
But summer did not fade out peacefully everywhere. From the Caribbean, a tropical hurricane hits 200 miles of Florida's east coast. The fury of the storm mounts as 100-mile-an-hour gales lash the country between Miami and Palm Beach. In flooded streets, 9 lives are lost. Property damage reaches £3 million. However advanced human methods of destruction may become, man will always be at the mercy of the elements. Weather experts said it was the worst hurricane for 19 years. As the world learned of the disaster, the more quizzical felt the elements had little on the U.N.O. deliberations in New York. For it was again international affairs that dominated the global scene. Russia's veto tactics on Greece led Secretary Marshall into open battle with Wyszynski.
If the United Nations should fail to protect the integrity of one small state, the security of all small states would be placed in jeopardy.
To the people, George Marshall was quite a name, for it was not only in you-know arguments that his voice was heard. 4,000 miles away in Paris, the Marshall influence was also felt. 16 European nations applied for American aid to the extent of £3,000 million. Mr. Bevin said,
"The preparation of this report marks a new stage in the history of international endeavor, and I believe that it will prove not only a valuable and informative document in itself, but an initial step in the process of closer economic cooperation within Europe itself. Our goal is the economic unity of Europe as the best means that we can conceive to provide for the happiness of its people. This surely must remain the goal of all who have the welfare of Europe at heart."
As the world saw it, the Paris Conference could be the prelude to European recovery. Summer's last week saw British sports successes top the news columns. Old and new personalities made the headlines. It started in America, where 47-year-old racing driver John Cobb beat his own land speed record. In a 2,600 horsepower Railton Special, which cost nearly £25,000, Cobb reached 400 miles an hour. A London businessman, John Cobb breaks records as a hobby. The Railton is pushed until it reaches its minimum speed of 20 miles an hour. Then it roars off on the 14-mile course across Bonneville Salt Flats. At top speed, John Cobb clocks off a mile in less than 9 seconds. His new record, 394 miles an hour. After his triumph, Cobb packed his bags and left for home, just as a 29-year-old Lancashire boxer was winning the